Good afternoon, everyone, and happy Wednesday. Meteorologist Aaron White here for a new edition of the 10 Weather Impact Show, and Michael Behrens joining us as well, and it's a great day.
Yeah, great day out there. I mean, we've had a little bit of rain out there yesterday, but most of us didn't really see it. It's been a quiet week.
Yeah, just a couple spotty showers. It's been quiet. It's been nice. I mean, the weekend, of course, we've been talking about the last couple of days. It was a perfect weekend. Yeah. Low humidity, nice sunshine, and even the humidity the last couple of days has still been relatively low compared to what we've had, of course, in the past.
I say, honestly, not bad so far, but I mean, we're on a track that isn't going to keep this forecast as it's been. I mean, we're going to see that temperature and humidity both kind of going uphill.
Yeah, unfortunately. But, hey,
I'll let you handle the bad news today.
Right? It's, you know, we had to see the return. So yeah, let's go ahead and dive into the forecast because we are talking about warmer temperatures and more humidity as we continue through the work week, and especially looking ahead to the weekend. But we're also talking about some sunshine here for the next couple of days. But the other thing that we're watching for, just like we had yesterday, we had a fair amount of sunshine through central Ohio, but we're also watching for a couple pop-up showers, maybe a thunderstorm rolling through, but the chances are pretty low. They're about 20% here for today, for this afternoon and the evening, because we are just looking at that chance for just isolated pop-up shower as we get the heating of the day, a little bit more of that humidity around, but also as we're tracking a lot of sunshine here, of course the UV index is still on the high side. Right around an 8 for today and tomorrow and even into our Friday as we have more sunshine in the forecast. So if you're thinking about getting outside maybe for a round of golf or heading out to the pool or going to the lake, things are looking a-okay. Just keep in mind, especially through the afternoon, after about 2 o'clock in the afternoon through about 8 p.m. here today, and even going into the weekend, we are going to watch for that chance for a pop-up shower or a thunderstorm. So if you notice conditions changing, especially if you're outside doing some activities and things are changing a little bit, the sky's getting darker, head inside, wait out the rain, and things will be better for the rest of the evening. Just that chance for a shower or thunderstorm, it's going to pass pretty quickly. So not a lot to worry about here for really the next couple of days. A better chance of showers and storms likely going to be heading towards the end of the weekend and going into the start of the next week. But as we track things on the hour-by-hour forecast here today, we've seen a lot of sunshine through the morning hours and into this afternoon. As we go through, notice there's a couple showers trying to build up, and most of us really staying dry across central Ohio. So that's why we're keeping it at a 20% chance, because a lot of the area not going to see any rain by any means, just a lot of sunshine here through the rest of this afternoon. And then clear skies continue here tonight into tomorrow. Plenty of sunshine in our forecast here for your Thursday. Enjoy it. It's going to be a little bit warmer, a little bit more of that humidity, and not going to be too bad like we saw just in the last couple of weeks. As we had those dew point temperatures into the 70s, our dew points are still into the lower to middle 60s here for the next couple of days. So really not bad conditions, but we are tracking the return of warmer temperatures really here through the forecast. Again, over the weekend, we had 70s. We got back into the lower 80s here the last couple of days. We got mid 80s here for today, and we're likely going to see upper 80s, potentially even some lower 90s going into our Sunday and Monday here for next week. So with hotter temperatures, more humidity around, there likely will be a better chance for some showers and storms as we look ahead to our Sunday and Monday. But our forecast here tonight, temperatures will cool down to about 65 degrees. So that's also a sign with these overnight temperatures getting back up into the mid 60s that our humidity, our dew point temperature has been rising back into the 60s. It was down in the 50s back over the weekend, allowing for more comfortable conditions, lower humidity, and just really overall nice conditions. But we're starting to see that rising. So 65 here tonight, partly cloudy skies are in the forecast, and then more sunshine here tomorrow. And chances for a pop-up shower and storm are a little bit lower here tomorrow. Doesn't look like we're going to see a great chance of that. So enjoy the sunshine. 86 for a high temperature. Winds are out of the southeast at about 5 to 10. So really comfortable conditions, just a touch warmer here as we go through the day. Looking ahead to our 7-day forecast, we are tracking those temperatures on the rise here through Thursday, Friday, as we got highs back in the mid to upper 80s. Going into the weekend, though, we got more sunshine here on Saturday, 89 for a high temperature. And then as we look ahead to the end of the weekend, temperatures topping out into the lower 90s, but that also will bring the chance for some showers and storms here Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. And then hopefully after the 7-day forecast, we start to see a little bit of a cool down. It does look like we're going to kind of hover around the 80s here going into the next work week, but still It's summertime.
Yeah.
It's still August, so we still got to get through some more of that heat and humidity before we actually can enjoy more fall-like conditions like we kind of just had over the weekend.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the forecast heading toward next weekend and beyond, we get, you said, back to the 90s. That heat obviously coming back, but I noticed those morning lows too. We're sitting in the 70s again.
Yeah,
that's that humidity.
Yeah, not ready for that. It was nice. Last Saturday morning we had, and Sunday morning we had temperatures in the upper 40s in some locations in central Ohio. So that was a nice break, and hopefully everyone enjoyed it because that summer heat and humidity is back in full force.
Yeah, and then once you get that moisture up there like it's going, it's hard not to have storms in the afternoon.
Yeah, so I mean, it's bound to happen. I mean, we've had a nice stretch of some dry days, so getting some moisture in here will also be a good thing before we talk about more serious conditions.
Yeah, good thing to get some moisture in here, and you know, it's a good thing to be having this time of the year too, because last year we were in drought, and they're still in drought across a good portion of the country, and that's led to a bunch of wildfires out to the west. The Gifford fire in central California is now the state's biggest this year, burning more than 82,000 acres. That wildfire just 7% contained and is expected to keep growing over the next few days. Jason Allen is near Santa Maria with the latest.
Armed with shovels, picks, and weed whackers, this California fire crew marches out to battle the Gifford fire with help from above as an air tanker drops fire retardant over the dry land in Los Padres National Forest.
Just to get out there to that fire edge, it takes an extreme amount of work, and you can't just always take vehicles out there.
Santa Barbara County Fire's Scott Safechuck says dry vegetation has contributed to the fire's explosive growth.
Low humidity, high temperatures, wind influence in alignment with drainages, that just allows for a perfect mixture that creates extreme fire behavior.
The smoke that is just hanging in the canyons, not only from this fire, but others across California and Canada, is creating hazardous air quality across the country.
Air quality, even miles away from the fire, can really affect community members, particularly elderly, children, people with respiratory issues like asthma.
On Monday, the Gold Fire erupted east of Los Angeles, forcing campers to evacuate the San Bernardino National Forest. Meanwhile, in Maui, firefighters contained a brush fire after it scorched 33 acres. Residents are already on edge this week as they mark 2 years since the deadly wildfires on the island.
PTSD, yeah. We lost our house in Lahaina, so this is kind of scary to us.
In Arizona, time-lapse video shows a wildfire in Grand Canyon National Park that's been burning for more than a month. Jason Allen, CBS News, Santa Maria, California.
And just wild to see how active a fire season it's been with so many fires burning again in California. There's the one in near the Grand Canyon. Of course, there's fires in Canada. So, of course, it's been an active year. And when it comes to Ohio crews and fighting wildfires, you may not know that it takes its own special certification to be qualified. And with that in mind, we spoke to the president of the Ohio Firefighters Association about what role Ohio fire crews might play if fires out west become too much to handle.
Wildland firefighting is its own special certification, and here in Ohio, very few firefighters hold that certification. So really for us to go out and do anything, it would be much more of a supportive role and, kind of behind the scenes.
And the president, John Harvey, adds many Ohio firefighters that trained as technical rescue specialists are part of the Task Force 1, and this means that they can be deployed after flooding, hurricanes, or wherever they're actually needed.
Yeah, interesting stuff there. And the wildfire smoke actually has been having impacts across even more of the country than what's seeing the fire. Air quality in cities across the U.S. just yesterday had millions of people under alerts. That was in 11 states and in the Midwest up to the Northeast. That was because primarily Canadian wildfires. Here in central Ohio, we haven't seen too much of an impact from that wildfire smoke. Looks a little hazy out there, but when we get that wildfire smoke really bad here in Ohio, we can get those air quality alerts ourselves.
Yeah.
And of course, we always like to keep you updated when those come into our region.
Yeah, and of course we've had a little bit more of that active air quality and wildfire smoke back in June and even May, and even years past, of course, with how thick some of that smoke really became. And it's something we're going to be tracking here over the course of the next couple of weeks, really, as those fires continue to burn. It is something we'll have to monitor for more smoke in the area.
Yeah, fire season just getting started.
And now to the latest on the tropics and our increasing activity. And Michael, I know it's been a little bit more active here the last week or so. So what's going on right now?
Yeah, tropics really starting to get active this time of the year. We haven't really had many threats to the U.S. mainland yet, which is good news, but we've got a couple areas to watch in the coming days. So we want to go ahead and update you guys at home on the latest on those tropical storms. This is the only named system we have in place right now, Tropical Storm Dexter. Not a very strong storm, but it does have winds up to about 60 miles per hour when it comes to the gusts, sustained at about 45. Good news with this system is it's going to continue to push its way off to the northeast, working its way out of our portion of the Atlantic and over toward Europe, weakening to a tropical depression in the coming days. But we're not done with the threats for storms. We have to keep our eyes peeled toward the tropics. It doesn't look like a ton of activity going on right now, and the good news is what's out there is fairly disorganized, but there are several areas to watch for development. One that we'll have to keep our eyes on as we work our way through the next week or two here, forming way out in the Atlantic. This one initially forecast to keep well off coast, but of course this is pretty far out, so we'll have to see how that changes. And then we have another area of activity closer to the Carolinas. Again, not very organized here, so that's good news with this system. Only about 10% chance of further development over the next 48 hours, 40% over the next 7 days. And you can again see that path where it's projected to develop into keeps it off the coast, which is again good news, but of course we'll continue to watch that system. When it comes to the season overall, we haven't seen again that many storms as of yet. Only 4 named storms. All of them have been tropical in nature. Dexter, the only currently active named storm. Aaron would be next if we see anything else develop. And of course, keep in mind the rest of the season out there, our averages is 14 named storms, 7 hurricanes, 3 major hurricanes. The forecast for this year is above average, 13 to 19 named storms. Of course, we're only 4 into that right now. So if that forecast holds true, there's still a lot more tropical season to come as we head in the next couple weeks.
Yeah, and not surprising to see that the forecast has been for a little bit more active season. Of course, water temperatures out in the Atlantic are a bit warmer than normal, and just how everything is going to play out as we still have a little bit more time till we reach the peak of hurricane season around mid-September. So not surprising to see that things are getting a little bit more active right now, but thankfully nothing that's going to really impact the United States, at least in the near future.
Yeah, good news there, because like you said, August into September is when we really start to ramp things up, and definitely could get more active in the coming months. But there is some good news as we continue into tropical season. The National Weather Service actually reversing course and now is in progress to hire back hundreds of its workers following massive cuts and a federal hiring freeze. The NWS will hire 450 meteorologists, hydrologists, and radar technicians. An official with the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration says those rehires will include 126 new positions that were previously approved and funded. Those jobs are labeled as frontline mission critical to the agency. Staff reductions were first carried out earlier this year by the Department of Government Efficiency. More than 500 Weather Service employees were let go or forced into retirement by the Trump administration. And finally today, let's check out some new video into us here at 10 TV. Speaking of those impacts out west, we were talking about the fires. This is video from a NOAA satellite showing a time lapse of the Gifford fire, which was taken on Sunday as it burned for about 12 hours. That Gifford fire in San Luis Obispo and Santa Barbara has consumed, again, more than 82,000 acres and was only 7% contained, according to the fire services there. Wild that you can actually see the whole thing, flames.
Yep, see the whole thing from space and just how, I mean, it's a large fire, again, consuming nearly 90,000 acres. And we were talking about the one in Arizona, the north rim of the Grand Canyon, the Dragon Bravo fire, and just how much smoke. You could also see that from space because, again, it's just such a large area of coverage and really just wild and unfortunately devastating to that area.
Yeah, unfortunately, like I said, more fires are probably going to be coming this season. This fire taking place starting on August 1st, Friday, cause still under investigation. And
yeah, it was all in a day's work for
Yeah.
a Florida sheriff's deputy that responded to a home where a young alligator was spotted just swimming in the backyard pool in northeast Florida. This encounter actually happened on July 25th in St. Augustine, just south of Jacksonville, after being shown where the 3 to 4 foot alligator was just hanging out and swimming
getting
around.
cool.
And yeah, the deputy was able to guide the alligator just back away from there, and yeah, everything was good. But still, you walk outside, like, hey, we're gonna lay by the pool, and all of a sudden you see that.
I like this part here. He's got him by the tail. The cop's crazy. He's just full on handling this guy. Bad news. Under arrest. You're going in the back of the squad car.
Oh no!
In goes the gator. I mean, I don't know if they make gator-sized handcuffs,
Right.
but wait for this part right here. Safety first, I guess,
yep.
because we buckle in.
Of course,
Mr. Alligator.
Yeah, it's all about safety. Yeah,
He's off for a ride. I can't believe he just grabbed him out of the pool of his hands.
yeah, I know, right? I was like, I guess you got to do something, but
Yeah. Like grabbing a wild cat there, almost like by the back of the neck.
that is wild. But
Yeah.
I just can only imagine the reaction. You walk outside and just see the alligator just lounging. Maybe he wanted a pool day.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I want to know where he took the gator afterwards. Like, you take him back to the station and just like get somebody to open the back of the car.
Yeah, go to the nearest state park or something. I don't know.
Let him go somewhere, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's wild. But yeah, some wild stuff happening, of course, and we're going to be monitoring, of course, the forecast here and those chances for showers and storms, and also the heat and humidity. So that'll do it for us today. Coming up later on tonight, Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz will be in with the latest weather updates, and until then, you can catch more news and weather always online at 10tv.com.
Have a great afternoon.